kings and queens, and welcome if you're new here. My name is Hope King, and I'm the designer behind King's Designs MD. Today I am in Canva creating some notepad sets. So in order to get to this screen here, you will be in Canva on your home screen. You will click Create a Design. You will click 11 by 8.5 inches, and that will give you the blank page that we started with. To create some notebook sets, you typically want to do about a 3 by 3 design. So you would go to your element section, you would under lines and shapes, you would click a square, and then you want to size that down to about 3 by 3. Now we'll just move this over and into place. We'll use the 1-inch line at the top just as a marker. The next thing you do is you duplicate that square and you shrink it down. So we're just going to shrink this down, and you can shrink it to whatever size you want. This is a 2.8, but if you wanted it smaller, you could do that. Now we're going to click on that middle square and we're going to turn it white. Now this is going to give us like a border trim on a notepad set. Now you can click on the two together and group it. And now you can move the notepad set all around. So this is just a 3 by 3 notepad set. If you wanted to do something like a monogram, you could. And so we will go to our text. We will click Create a Heading, and I'll just use ABC as the monogram. Now you can leave that in there as one whole piece of a monogram. But there's different ways that you can do a monogram. So let me just show you this one first. So we'll leave this in here as one whole piece. The next thing we can do is duplicate it out just so you guys can see. And we're going to click Add a Heading. We'll do the same initials, A. We're going to move that into place. Going to click Add a Heading again. We'll do the B. Move that into place, and you can take out all this extra space if you want to size that in. That way, as you're designing, you won't have all this extra space to try to work around. So we have A, we have B, and as you can see, Canva uses purple markings to help you line things up. So now we have C. And you see the purple running through them to let you know that they all should be even. Now, I did it this way with 3 different boxes because a lot of times with monograms, one of the letters is much bigger than the rest. Typically, that is the person's last name. So if you wanted to do something like that, this is now expanded to 93. And the side letters are at 62. And so you can make them as big or small as you want to. You can make them touch if you want it, just to have a fun monogram look. And you can also change the font if you didn't want that big, or you didn't want those letters to be looking like that. We can change it to something else. But I would tell you, if you change it, you want to make sure you change all 3 to the same thing, just so it has a cohesive look. But that will be how you can do a notepad set with monograms, and you would just duplicate it out. And if you wanted to duplicate the whole thing, you would highlight over it, you would group it, and then you click duplicate. And that way, you have that whole set duplicated. And you can duplicate it again, so you can fill in the page. Continue over, and then duplicate again. And now you have 6 on a sheet of paper. If you group them, you can be able to duplicate them easier, you can just highlight over it and take anything out that you don't want there. But now you got a nice set. And I would actually lower the B just a bit, just because it's touching the purple at the top. But this is just for design purposes to show you guys what can be done when you're playing around in Canva and different sets that you can make. You can make these and sell these. If somebody wants a personalized note set, you can do the 3x3 notepad cards, and you can expand them. If you wanted to expand them, let me show you that. So we have this set and we have it at that. We can click add a page and we'll do the same process over again. So we're going to go to elements, we're going to click on our square, and we'll create a larger notepad set. Now you can create these sets whatever size you want, but this is a 4.7 width, and we'll do 4x6. And so you see it's long and skinny now. If you like that, you would just duplicate it and then shrink down to whatever size you wanted the insert to be, and turn that to white. And so now you have a trim on that. We will highlight over it, we'll group it, and now you have this image as a 4x6 notepad set. If you didn't want to bother with changing this again, what you could do is ungroup this, click on it, make sure it's ungrouped, highlight over your letters, group them, and then you can move them down here. Now if you're worried about this, we can just totally take that out, delete it, because we know we have one grouped here, and just duplicate it and move it back. But now that you have the monogram grouped, which it should be grouped, now the monogram grouped, it's now one piece, and you can move that one piece around however you like. You can make it bigger, you can move it down to the corner. But when I make sets, I like to make it cohesive. So if I'm going to have these smaller notepad sets with 3x3 with the monogram at the top, I would make the same set for the larger notepad with everything pretty much in the same spacing basically. But if you have it the way you want it, you just highlight over it, group it, and you can click duplicate. Now typically you only get 2 of these on a page, and you get 6 of these on the page. You can also make a pencil wrap or a pen wrap. And I don't have one in front of me to measure, but I think they're typically about 1 inch when I use my jot pens, by about 4 inches. And this is just to the best of my recollection, guys. You can measure your pens just to be sure, but you would do the same thing. You would duplicate it out, you would size it how you want it. You can leave it to all purple if you want, but if you want that insert to be white, you would click up here, change it white, and now you have a pen wrap to coordinate. Now we group this one together. If we want to ungroup it, we can. Move those pieces, move that down. Again, if you move stuff around, that's fine. You can just delete it as long as you have one that's already done and still grouped together. You can just move it into place. Now, somebody may ask, I'm just backing up here. Excuse me. I'm backing up here so I can make sure that everything's grouped together and stays grouped. I'm going to move it down here for a minute. I am duplicating this out and I'm moving that over into place. But the reason I backed up is because I want to make sure that these two pieces are grouped together as well before I add this in. And you don't have to, but it sometimes makes life a little bit easier. Because when you're sizing things down, you don't have to worry about whether you're going to mess up your format. So you can have it this way or you can rotate it. Sorry, I clicked add a page. You can have it this way or you can rotate it. And you can size it down if you wanted to rotate it. And so that way, if the pen was, you know, lengthwise, if you were holding it up right in your hand, the ABC would be there for you to see. But if you liked it better the other way, when the pen's laying down, you will see the person's monogram. So there you go, guys. These can be birthday gifts. These can be Mother's Day gifts. These can be Christmas, Hanukkah, whatever. But this is just a way that you can design your own notepad sets. I do have videos on how I put them together. But this is basically, I just use Mod Podge. And I use some clamps to hold mine together. But I will try to create a video for that so you can see what they will look like when they're put together. So I hope this helps somebody. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe.